This is literally getting your first period in a nutshell. Oh my God, I'm dying. Oh my God, this is my period and I have to deal with this every single month for the rest of my life until menopause. That's it. Hey guys, it's Sharon. Today we're chatting about our most traumatizing moments in our young lives. Our first periods. It's confusing, it's scary, it's bloody, it's Mother Nature. I'm reading some of your first period stories as we've all been there, or we will all be there. So grab your snacks, grab your tea, grab your pads, and let's get into this. P.S. if you enjoy this video, I have a bunch more episodes on my channel because I upload a new episode every single month, once a month, like a period. So make sure you subscribe and turn those post notifications on. And if you want more content, I have a second channel of commentary videos as well. Wink, wait, how do I even wink? Wink. I can't even wink. Anyways, to the bleeding. I was in school and it was the middle of French when I suddenly felt a trickle go down my leg. I looked and it was blood. I went to ask the teacher if I could go to the bathroom, but he said no. I said it was an emergency, but he still wouldn't let me go. By that time, I had a bit of blood in my shoe. I then went to sit down and realized there was also blood on the chair, but before I could do anything, the person behind me put their legs on my chair and yelled that I wet myself. I was so embarrassed, I ran out crying. I didn't go to school for the rest of the week. Yo, what a crappy teacher, for real. At that point, like, do not be ashamed to go to your teacher and be like, I am literally bleeding out of my vagina. And unless you want me to leave a bloody trail, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. Thanks. Because seriously, teacher, was it worth it, teach? Was it really worth traumatizing a child over them going to the bathroom? Was your lesson that life-changing? I'll tell you what was life-changing. Being ridiculed because some guy think I wet myself. Imagine leaking so badly that you literally got blood in your shoes. I would simply hit my teacher with an invoice for a new pair of shoes. Look what happened because you wouldn't let me go pee. You're gonna get me some new sneakers. Thank you, bye. My mom was away at the time, so it was just me, my dad, and my brother. There weren't any pads in the house and I had no idea what to do. The only option there was to use one of my friend's pads. Let me tell you, she was using night pads or something because they were huge. I could barely sit down for the whole day. It was that uncomfortable. Worst of all, I was wearing leggings and this kid kept giving me weird glances. I would simply turn around and be like, what are you looking at? You got a problem? And then that kid would never look at you ever again, you know? The glances from the pad marks. Wow, shocker. A person with a vagina has a pad on. Okay, and it's like the same thing when you have like underwear lines or like bra lines. It's like, yeah, I'm wearing that. You already knew it, and now you know it for sure. Wow, isn't that groundbreaking? Aside from that, if it's like your first period though, you usually typically don't bleed that much. But then again, everybody is different, so better safe than sorry, you know? Maybe you do gotta wear the little diaper pad sometimes. No shame. But this is also how you learn what you like and what you don't like. Now you know for sure that you don't like the big diaper pads. Now you know to go down a size. I was visiting my dad who had two housemates that I didn't really know. I knew I had started my period on the way there, but without any pads or anything. I just had to suck it up until I went home a few hours later. When I stood up off the white couch, there was of course a stain. I sat right back down until I got to leave when his two housemates, one female, one male, pointed out that stain and stared at me in confusion. What is there to be confused about? You got a teen girl and blood on a white couch. Y'all really confused? For real, for real? Come on, especially when one of them is a woman. Sis, you really couldn't piece it together and then you really had to out me like that? Even though it would have been kind of obvious regardless. I don't even think it's her fault, which is not because she can't control a period. I think it's the fault of whoever bought a white couch. You mean the number one thing that's gonna get like the number one dirtiest in your entire house? All right, that's on you, dad or dad's housemates, whatever. You shouldn't have gotten a white couch. I can't control Mother Nature, but you can control your furniture choices. I was getting ready for my friend's birthday and I went to poo before I went. I saw this red residue on the toilet paper and told my mom. She said that it was probably nothing, but I was kind of horrified. So I searched up, what does it mean for an 11-year-old to see blood on the toilet paper? And the answer that came up said that capillaries in my butt burst and that I should go to a hospital immediately. I later learned it was my period. Not WebMD being like, sis, your butt is bleeding and you're about to die. You're telling me like an 11-year-old and blood on the toilet, a period wasn't the first thing that came to mind, Google? For real, for real? This is why we can't let AI take over. Because it'll say silly stuff like this, and then we're all thinking we're dying, when in reality, it's just puberty. I don't even want to think about how many parents take their kids to the hospital and be like, my kid's bleeding out of like down there. Oh my gosh, they're dying. And the doctor's just like, there's a thing called a period. I'm not dying out of my butt. I just got it from my church service and found blood all over my pants and seats, and the girl next to me gasped out loud, and it was so embarrassing. I don't even want to begin to think what she thought that was. She's over here like, oh my God, did the blood of Christ just come out of her? Her butt? Question mark? What? Is that the devil, actually? That's probably the worst place to get your period. I for sure definitely think like public school getting your period for the first time sucks. At church, nah. They might attempt to do like an exorcism on you. I'm good. So basically, I was like 11. I was at my grandparents' house for a barbecue with my entire family. My grandparents had a pool in their backyard, and my cousins, who were like 7 or 8 at the time, were swimming. I was sitting in a chair because my stomach hurt, but I thought I was just having a stomach ache. I got up and there was blood all over my jeans, and my cousins that were swimming in the pool thought I sat on a frog. There were usually frogs near the pool because there were the woods right near the house, and started crying. These little kids' biggest concern of their cousin bleeding out of their butt wasn't, oh my gosh, my older cousin is bleeding out of their butt. What if they're like dying? What if they need to go to the hospital? It's, oh my gosh, my older cousin is a murderer. She killed a frog. Really? That's where your mind went for. Good to know how much you actually care about your older cousin. That means so much to me. Thank you for that. I'm good, by the way. Your frog's fine too. My mom bought me a white dress for Easter. I was 9, and we were going to take pictures with my cousins after church. While we were taking pictures, my cousin started pointing out at the back of my dress and said, I sat in ketchup. My mom yelled at me, and my cousins laughed at me. Lesson learned to never wear white again. For real, Mom? How are you gonna get mad at me for accidentally sitting on ketchup, or in reality, I don't know, getting my first period? Maybe next time, don't buy a white dress, especially for Easter. Okay, I get it. You know, it's a holiday, it's a religious holiday, white, religion, blah, blah, blah. If I am a child and I'm about to like go on an Easter egg hunt after church, I'm assuming everyone does the Easter egg hunt after church, you know, you're gonna get me a white dress. For me to go digging around in the dirt looking for some eggs, you're gonna get me a white dress. And then you're gonna be mad when I stain my white dress accidentally, whether it was ketchup or not, which it wasn't. It was actually my coochie releasing blood. You're gonna get mad because I got a white dress dirty. Shouldn't have gotten me a white dress. I was at school minding my own business, sitting by my crush, let's just call him Jackson, trying to act cool, and all of a sudden, I felt something running down my leg. At first, I thought that I shit myself, but when I looked down, it was actually blood. At the time, no one had told me what a period was, so immediately, I thought I was dying. I screamed, and then Jackson looked, started screaming as well, and when he found out that it was my period, blocked me and never talked to me again. Her crush found out she wasn't dying, and it was actually just a normal bodily function that occurs to people with vaginas, and then blocked her and never talked to her again. Yeah, so I don't know how Jackson is ever gonna date another woman ever again. Jackson, friendly piece of advice, if you're not into periods, you might not be into people with periods, so do with that what you will. If you got your first period and also thought you were dying, yeah, welcome to the club. I am so jealous of whoever got theirs and didn't think that they were dying, because you actually knew what a period was. That must be nice. Regardless, Jackson is trash, and the trash took itself out, and that's what we care about. I was at a cheer comp, and I was a flyer. My 2 besties were my bases, and so I bled on them when we did our cradle from extensions. Them, being the best besties, told the coaches it was one of them, and my friend gave me a pad and her uniform because she wasn't in round 3. At the end, I got yelled at by my girl coach for getting my first period at the comp. How are you gonna be a coach surrounded by other girls and get mad with one of the girls get their periods? I don't know who needs to hear this, but like someone needs to tell coach that maybe they shouldn't be coaching. I just feel like as a person with a vagina, you cannot be mad that other people with vaginas are bleeding. Did you forget how it works? Or I was at a resort with my grandparents for my 13th birthday. I had started it that morning, but I really wanted to swim, even though I only used pads. I knew wearing a pad in the pool wouldn't go well, so I just free bled since I didn't think it would be super heavy on the first day. Long story short, I bled through my swimsuit, and when I went to sit down on one of the lounge chairs, I immediately stained the white towel that was there. That's the problem with resorts, okay? They always got white towels. You know it's gonna get dirty. But in reality, they just bleach them and that's how you clean them easily. So, okay, I get it. Regardless, the lesson here is you can never trust your period. Every time that you think, oh, my period's about to end. Oh, my period is gonna be light today. Wrong. It is the opposite of whatever you think it is. Cause why? Cause Mother Nature can. That's just how she is. She sees you wanting to have fun. She's gonna be like, not today. I'm about to ruin you and traumatize you. She said, I'm enjoying this resort, not you. I was at school in the greenhouse during horticulture and I felt something dripping on my leg. I thought it was just my friend pouring water on me playing with the water can. I looked down and there's a trail of blood in the greenhouse. My teacher and I tried to clean it up, but it wouldn't go away. My teacher said it was all right. He knew it wasn't on purpose, but another student snitched and I got ISS for destruction of property? What destruction of property? I bled on something. It's a stain. A stain that I'm sure could come out. It's not like blood is like acid or something. I fear the only intellectual here is the teacher that was like, it's okay. I know you didn't bleed on purpose. Everyone else, literally what the heck? The way I would call my mom, the principal's boss, the whole school board and be like, you're really giving me in-school suspension over my period? For real? Because the janitor couldn't scrub a little bit more to get the stain out? All right, got it. That's so ridiculous. Maybe y'all should like period proof the greenhouse floors. I don't know what to tell you. I can control my period. You can control the material making your greenhouse floors out of. So let's think about that. Who should really get ISS here? I had to make makeshift pads made out of toilet paper because I was too scared to tell my mom that I had started my period. On the third day, I leaked through at school. It was so embarrassing. If there is one thing anyone needs to hear if you are still embarrassed of your period or worried about getting your period is don't be. And I know that's easier said than done. Periods happen. They are so normal. They just are a part of life. You can't control them. You can't stop them unless you get your uterus removed for some whatever reason. If you get your period for the first time, don't struggle with makeshift pads. Tell someone you trust. And if you're too embarrassed to tell like a parent, tell a friend or a teacher or an older sister, older just family member that you trust until you feel confident enough to tell your parent. Because really, doing all this, you're just leaking through at school. And for what? Now you're building more trauma and more embarrassment of leaking through at school than simply going up to your mom and being like, I need a pad. It's not like your mom doesn't know. Your mom is expecting it. Your mom too had periods. It's crazy, I know. I was at the pool with my family and I was swimming and randomly a little kid screamed, "Shark!" and pointed at me, and then I looked down and realized I had gotten my first period. You're in a pool and this little kid's first thought is, oh my God, there's a shark in the pool. Wait, but to be fair though, like, did anyone else have an unreasonable fear of there being a shark in the pool? Because I felt that. Like, I'm gonna be honest and I'm gonna give it to this kid. It is a silly thought that there would be a shark in the pool, but I did have that irrational fear, and I really need you guys to validate it and let me know that I am not alone in that. I mean, if I was her and I got my period in the pool, at that point, I wish it was a shark. When I got my first period, I forgot to flush. My brother saw the blood in the toilet and passed out. Brother's like, oh my God, my sister's a murderer. My sister has committed a crime and left evidence in this toilet. What am I supposed to call the authorities? That's my sister. What if she kills me next? I love this. I do. I'm so sorry. I just feel like if you live with women, if you live with girls, like, you gotta get used to it. You know, we bleed. It happens. I am so sorry you had to see it, but shocker. You imagine how he just proceeds on his tiptoes whenever he's around his sister because he is not convinced that it was a period. He might not even know it was a period. He just generally thinks she's like out there committing crimes. I was in 5th grade at the school bathroom doing my thing when I felt it. At the time, I had no idea what it was, so I looked down into the toilet and I saw a huge blood clot in a puddle of blood. I thought I was dying. And I realized we have to go through it every single dang month. This is literally getting your first period in a nutshell. Oh my God, I'm dying. Oh my God, this is my period and I have to deal with this every single month for the rest of my life until menopause. That's it. You go through the 5 stages of grief in those small 2 moments of realization. Yeah. It gets even more fun when you learn that it's not just your blood that comes out. There's also like a little bit of mucus, there's some blood clots, and sometimes there's actual uterine lining in it. Yeah, actual little pieces of your uterus because it's shedding its lining. Isn't it great? Aren't periods so awesome? They're so fun. And then I have to deal with cravings and hormones and PMS and me going through all 5 stages of grief all the time for a week every single month. It's wonderful. Anyway, if you enjoyed cringing over these first period stories as much as I did, be sure to like this video and leave your own first period stories in the comments below. I'll make sure to leave a form so you can submit them so you can be in a video too. And if you haven't had your first period yet, it's okay. Come back when you do and let us know how it goes. We're here for the tea always. Today's shout out goes to Chloe. Thank you so much for being so sweet. If you'd like a chance to be shout out of the day, just follow me on my Instagram and comment on my most recent post. And also follow your girl on TikTok. That's where you get bonus content. And if you want to binge more episodes of this series, I have an entire playlist on my channel and I will be uploading a new episode every single month, once a month, just like a period. So subscribe and turn on those post notifications so you never miss the tea. And if you want more tea, I do have a second channel. So wait, wink. I'm not convinced I know how to wink. Wink, wink. Yeah, whatever. You get what I'm trying to do. All that being said, I love you. Stay safe out there. Have a period emergency kit always. Okay. Bye.